Hi, I'm Xerxes, and today I'm here with Frank. Frank, I'm happy that you're here in my show. Please introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Thanks for having me, Xerxes. My name is Frank Sonder. On my website, I have a TLDR, so too long didn't read, description of what I'm doing because it's challenging for me all the time as well. So it says something like I'm a speaker. I'm speaking about future relevant topics. I'm hosting other people on stage. I know who should be up there and how to get the best out of these great minds. I'm creating concepts, know how to connect dots, and how to impress people by a certain concept. And then I'm writing, so articles, rants, ghostwriting, wherever I can put what I'm usually talking about into text, or like here in a podcast. So that maybe the easiest, shortest description of what I'm doing right now.
Okay, and why do you do what you do?
Good question, because it assumes that I know what I'm doing. So thank you for that. Yeah, of course, why I'm doing what I do. Um, I think for me, it's always the quest for the new. Let's say. So I was always interested into the future, and even when I did different things in between, it was always about understanding about the future, which of course also means that I forgot and forget a lot of things about the past so easily. So if you have a focus fast forward, you forget things. But what I'm interested in the past is to connecting the lines between history and future, because there's almost nothing, I would say right now, nothing which doesn't have a reference in history. So I like to connect these things, and maybe I would say on two levels that are interesting me. The one level is the very most urgent one, so the topics that are pressing right now. It was in the past something like blockchain or artificial intelligence. So the attention curve went a bit down since the last 3 or 4 years. Right now, of course, during the Corona crisis, it's all related to virtual experience. So I'm into that topic for quite a long time, and was always, again, interested to try things out, to test virtual reality and all that stuff, even 10, 15 years ago. Fortunately, I had a company where we were allowed to buy all that stuff and test it and try it out. So, and right now into that virtual experience, of course, I'm happy that people get used to it. So, because before it was really difficult to get people engaged in digital things. So, substantially, I would say. But on the other level, this is more or less precise. So, I'm consulting clients right now how to deal with virtual events, conferences, and stuff like that. But on the other level, what's interesting me and driving me even more is yet to think about the impact to our society. So, because everything we see right now and in the last decade, more or less, will of course change society much, much more than it did so far. So, so far we're digitalizing everything, which is just a matter of media, but it will change fundamentally the way we do things, hopefully, I would say. So, and this impact to society is interesting me, and I'm talking about that most of the time on stage. But I would add another method I'm using to find out whether it's right what I'm doing. So I have 3 kids, and when I imagine they are between 8 and 24. When they are asking me in 10 years or even now, so what did you do when the wall came down? What did you do during the financial crisis? What did you think? To which people you talked? And what did you do during the Corona crisis? Did it change anything in the things you do? I don't want to say actually, you know, I was working at Volkswagen as a brand manager and we tried to sell old combustion engines to people and we're waiting for support of the government, you know? Or I don't want to answer something like I was a marketing manager for a product which cost me to develop and market half a year or a year, and then it disappeared from the market after 2 months of the launch. So I would like to give a different answer, and without overestimating my impact, I at least think about that, write about that, go on stage, try to help people to understand, because I deal with how to understand and translate the impact of technology to society. And at least I help a little bit, you know, so, and do meaningful things. So this is my method of deciding whether what I'm doing is good for me and for my inner circle and for my well-being or not.
Okay, so was there maybe some type of turning point in your life that led to what you do today? Or more than one turning point?
Yeah, it's this question sounds a bit nostalgic, you know. So if you're looking back, I would say there was at least one huge turning point, which was the fall of the wall 30 years ago, because I was born in East Germany, and you can imagine that my life would have been completely different if this country would still exist and we wouldn't have the reunification and so on. So it opened up tons of opportunities for me, which I always try to take. So, and I always like to remember that special event 30 years ago, not only because it played a certain important role in my life. So, but then the other turning points more or less came, yeah, little by little, one by one. So not that one huge turning point where when you write the book of your life later on, say, okay, that was a turning point, but little turning points. So I founded a company in 2005. Since 1999, I was working on this topic of interactive furniture, interactive solutions, long before we know about the iPhone and touch screens and all that stuff. So, and when we closed that company 2 years ago, we really simply closed it. I can tell you later on why, which was good. But then it was not like a huge cut, you know, from being an entrepreneur to being a speaker and so on, because all the time I was continuously speaking and was engaged with these topics. So for me, not so many things changed or turned in a complete different direction. So I see myself, so let's say the last 20, 25 years, more or less as, yeah, one good continuation, and yeah, getting these things I'm interested in and I'm doing more and more precise. So it's getting more and more clear what I'm good at, what I'm not so good at, or things I'm good at but I don't like to do, you know. So I'm good in Excel sheets, but if I don't have to, I don't like to do that, you know. So, and there have been many remarkable points maybe in my career where I like to look back. So for instance, in 2012, a friend of mine and myself, he was running a conference for 5 years already. And we thought about, okay, who would we like to have on stage? So, and we couldn't think of anybody we would like to have on stage as a keynote speaker to open the conference. So, and then on holiday, I came up with the idea, why not Julian Assange? And we said, yeah, that sounds like a crazy idea, and this is wide enough away um, to get him. And in the end, we managed to get him as a keynote speaker. He was at the Ecuadorian embassy in London at this time already. So we got him, and this taught me the fact. So you can achieve whatever you want. You can get in contact to people, wherever they are, how far they might be from you, and how impossible it seems to reach something. You can get it. So it's a simple learning, more or less. But these are the points I like the most, and fortunately, there have been many of these kind of remarkable steps I did in between, which led me here, so to talk to you today.